Greetings and welcome back to The Booth, the first and only podcast dedicated solely to WVU women's basketball. I'm Chad Adkins, and I have the pleasure of being joined this episode by Ryan Eidler and Shane Terrell. We're recording in the basement bar booth of Mario's Fishbowl Suncrest on University Avenue in Morgantown, West Virginia, home of the world-famous Fishbowl.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers to that. And I think that was our most successful cheers because we finally
figured it out.
Ryan's left-handed, so he's been trying to cheers around his microphone, and so we finally we're getting more and more efficient every week.
I missed that in the production meeting. I didn't.
We're just throwing that at you now.
All right. So, success.
No more loops.
Well, I mean, it was a pretty successful week as well for the women's basketball team. I think they did well. They did pretty good, even I think better than our expectations, anybody's expectations.
Oh yeah. That's real deal basketball right there.
Game plan changes. We fixed a few things we needed to, and we look better. Keep it up that way.
Yeah, our 3-point shots dropped significantly. I think we went from 47 on the Iowa State game to about
a little 20 something.
Yeah, it's even lower. It was like 16 and 17 we shot because we didn't have to depend on it.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to get inside against Iowa State. Crooks was a real problem.
Yeah, and the Addy, and but I think, yes, we are a good team, but I think what really these last two games pointed out is the curve there is in the Big 12 women's basketball. I mean, they couldn't compete with us. They just couldn't do it.
Oh, you see it every week. You see how the records go in the Big 12. It's just getting further and further. The margin's getting further and further away.
But
compared to the bottom to the top.
I say that, and UCF lost by 3 to Baylor this week.
Yeah, had that conversation earlier. It's predictably unpredictable, kind of. But.
Yeah, I think some things can come up and smack some people in the mouth, some games, even some good teams. I think that can happen with any team in any league. But like another one that happened was that Texas Tech game against Iowa State. They beat Iowa State, and then they lose to Brigham Young.
Right.
One of the new teams. So I think we talked about it. It can go any way, any night.
Travel home is obviously a huge advantage. Dealing with that kind of travel that they have, that's got to play a big part in it.
Yeah, and to answer your question from last episode, they did take a bus. I saw the pictures. The team, they took a bus from here.
Yeah, they ended up taking a bus?
Yeah.
I did see that. I think you said they were staying in the hotel, so I wondered if...
Yeah, I did. I saw the bus. But, I think... But like I said, those, like we were talking about, unforeseen nights can happen in the Big 12, but they didn't happen to us against Houston or Cincinnati. In fact, we shut them out. We've had one quarter of both games.
First quarter scoreless.
It's amazing.
It's crazy.
Because I remember sitting at the Houston game, I was like, I don't know if I've ever even heard of this. And then how often? I don't even think this has happened before. And it happened. And then to do it.
Yeah, to do it.
Two games.
First time ever, and then back to back. Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah, I wonder how many times we should start a stat. Shutout quarters per season for coach. He's got 2 so far this year. So you're averaging 2 shutout quarters a season so far. But
impressive.
Yeah, it was insane to see that happen. And we were sitting there watching the Cinci game at home, me and the missus, and we were like, "There's no way it's going to happen again. No way."
Yeah.
Sure enough,
Let's keep it up.
It's just been great play on all of them. But maybe that's the difference because they don't have a lot of size. and we were able to penetrate more. I mean, that Cincinnati game, it was ridiculous. I mean, we were taking them off the dribble. I mean, Jordan had, I mean, I don't know how many times I saw her just take her defender off the dribble and just lay up, you know.
Yeah, it was.
We're not going to be able to do that against, well, I don't know. I mean, against the Kansas States or the Baylors. I just don't see us being able to do that quite as much.
That pressure is going to give anybody problems.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest.
When
That
it's full
pressure's
force
gonna-
and working, it's hard to stop.
Well, especially if it's a team that relies on its guards. I'll take our guards over it. We're going to screw up their game plan, at least on the guard side.
Yeah.
But if they have a solid inside game, and they can get a good enough guards to break our press on a consistent manner, a good D to keep our shooting low, that's our Achilles, I think.
Yeah, and I think that was sort of my concern, and I've kind of brought up some of the bench points, and the bench wasn't doing a whole lot the last couple games, but they've done real well the last 2 games.
Well, they were all right. Bench scoring against Houston, they were what? They had 20 points off the bench.
Yeah,
You know.
compared to the 2 that we had, I think against. So
Yeah.
So like as hard as we play, as fast as we play, and the defense that we play, I mean, we have to have some people be able to come off the bench and give us good minutes.
Yeah, and contribute.
And not that necessarily the points are necessarily good minutes. You can still come in and have good minutes, but it obviously helps if you can score too.
And I think another impressive thing about this 2-game stretch is that, oh my gosh.
Tabby Diggs?
Tabby Diggs, yes.
Tabby Diggs.
Tabby Diggs did do awesome.
She
Tabby
did.
did. She had a great run this last 2 games.
Yeah.
You know, that game against Cincinnati, she was
Yeah,
all over, man.
She played really well.
Yeah, that was a great game for her. But the thing I was going to bring up is the fact that we were so dominant, and we didn't even have tears of more.
Yeah,
Right.
that was my next thought that you may have had was Tears of More. Yeah, we're definitely missing her.
But we did awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it was amazing how the team came together, and I think that's one thing. I think maybe Blackston has learned to understand that she's going to have to get in that paint. I mean, she's been getting a lot of fouls, scrapping in the paint, but I think she's just got to do it.
Yeah, she's played well.
She's played well the past few games too.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
put up some points. You know, that-
She didn't have a point-wise game against Cincinnati. She may have been held scoreless, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Blackston?
Well, let's see.
She,
I don't need a Blackston.
Mm.
0.
really?
Yep. She had no points, but she was down there trading blows in the paint. She didn't. She only had 2 rebounds. Granted, but she was down there battling. I'll give it to her. I'll give it to her.
So, his previous game, she went off. She had a really good game.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she had a great game against Iowa State too, I believe. You know. But even I think she had quite a few fouls against Houston too, if I'm not mistaken. She she only had 1 foul. It just seems like she's mixing it up.
No, she's in there working. She's in there working.
I think it was the Iowa State game. She had a lot of points, but I think she fouled out of that game too.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken. But I mean, she's going to have to. She's going to have to. And then we got, Tavi and Erica Babu.
Yeah, I mean, she's came in and played good minutes. She's probably maybe one of the ones that probably doesn't try to score as much as maybe she can or should, but she comes in and gives good minutes, and that's I can ask a couple mental mistakes in some games, just staying in the paint too long, getting the foul. But no, I think she's potentially one of the more improved players.
Yeah, I would say so. Coach Kellogg, in one of his press conferences, I don't remember, he even brought up your point. She's here with weight training for the first time in her
she's
career.
never had people watching her nutrition, watching her weight training.
You're big. Go out there and play.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what she's had before she came here. But I mean, I think she's a contributor, and it just and it makes me wonder. I know I saw. Oh gosh, what's her name? Her right there, Boseberry.
Oh,
Right.
But see, that's
yeah. I thought you saw that.
you know, as we'll take it more here. As short as as short as our bench is, I'm surprised when given the option to play, because after that ruling came down, well, I know for a fact that Holzer had the opportunity to play. She could have played and she didn't. You know, I wonder how much of a contributor she's going to be next year. Hopefully, a lot. You know, I mean, the coach sees them play in practice. I saw Mosberry in like a complete leg cast, I think, the other day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming she's more of a guard. So I mean,
Yeah.
But we've got a lot of guards, so maybe
she seems more of a point guard, a true point guard kind of player. Maybe when Jordan Harrison needs a breather, she can come in and JJ doesn't have to play point guard.
Right.
You can still have that option out there on the floor to have JJ being a shooting guard versus.
Yeah.
And also, I just think it was pretty predictable. You know, I've kind of said, we're going to go 2-0 on this run. But coming up, we're previewing the next 3 games of the Big 12 Conference. First up on Saturday, we have Iowa State rematch against Crooks and Addie, I believe is her name. The other freshman phenom, Addie.
Brown.
Addie Brown, yeah. And Crooks. They're both freshmen. They're both paint players. Addie or the Brown can step out. Looks like to shoot some threes too. Obviously, Crooks within 3 foot of the paint or the bucket.
Yeah, I've looked at some of her stats from some of the other games. She's
Not
a
much
problem
different.
for
She's a
everybody.
problem for
She's
everybody.
a problem for
Well, that's what I hope. I hope we come out like we did the first time we played them, but we got to keep it up because we came out hard with them, and then they ate us down.
Yeah, we went cold. I mean, this game will be different. It's going to be at home.
We have our adjustments now.
We've got,
Well, that's the thing. Maybe that was, I mean, like you said last episode, 8,000 people, and there is a factor. It's probably one of the bigger crowds that our girls have played against.
Oh, yeah.
I would say probably
Absolutely.
the biggest
this
year that they played in front of, and having it to be an away game makes it, it does probably shut them up there for a while, But
Well, what's the Coliseum poll? Do we know?
Ours?
Yeah.
16?
14.
14?
Okay, so 8,000. That's over half. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, we've never seen it. Yeah.
So
I mean, the education game wasn't even that.
Yeah. I did see our last home game was 2,200. So I think it's the most we've had this year.
and it keeps going up. Which I
Yeah,
love
it keeps
to see.
going up.
Yeah.
People are interested. They're starting to pay attention to this team, and so hopefully, we continue to see that climb. I actually looked into buying some more some tickets that maybe we could give away or something, and they're kind of hard to come by.
Yeah.
Unless you some general admission, but so hoping to find some seats by us or something. They're gone. I mean that's good. That's a good sign.
That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
But this Iowa State game, I think it's going to be a battle, like you said. I think it'll be different. I don't think we'll be up by. I think it was almost a fluke that we were up by 19. That much. I mean, because we were shooting so lights out on the threes. It was stupid good.
They weren't, and and then.
And we just kept shooting and kept missing. It was almost like the gambler at Vegas.
Right.
Oh my God, we hit 5 blackjacks in a row. And you're up $300, and before you know it, you're down $300. But
It'll be different, I think. And just in playing the second time, it'll be different.
yeah, I think out of the 3 that we are covering on this one, I think it's by far the best chance of we have of losing, though.
Right. I mean,
They're a good team.
They're a
Well,
good
again,
team.
like you said, any given week you can have a good game, like UCF against.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
it can
but at
happen.
the same time, knowing who we are,
I mean, just
we
speaking
should be able to-
statistically,
we should be able to handle it.
yeah, the other two. And that's the thing. Iowa State, I think, is the biggest threat. I mean, UCF, I think, even though they just gave Baylor the game of their lives, I just don't. That doesn't pop up from teams like that very often. We'll
Right.
see if they can do it to us. They might be able to. That one girl for UCF, she is. I mean, she's a baller, man. She's going to. I mean, she's averaging what's her name, Peterson, 21 points a game, and this is this far into the Big 12. You know, she may be from UCF, but I mean, this far into the Big 12 schedule, she's averaging 21. She's a damn ball player.
Yep.
You know, she should have been playing Power 5 before this. I mean, she's good.
You know, and I'm excited to see these new teams at home.
Yeah.
We've never seen them before, at home at least. We've never played them before, but it's going to be fun. Then we have BYU after UCF, so that'll be
BYU's
That was an away game.
that's an away
Yes,
game, and then
yes.
that's one of the games that we
Yeah.
only play away, right? We
Yeah.
don't see them
Yep.
again.
Yeah. And that's it, like I was talking about. It'll be interesting. I mean, we're going to Provo, and it's 4,700 feet there, you know?
it's a good 4,000 feet above us almost.
Yeah.
That's a big difference there.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, I mean, and they're two of their three top scorers are their guards, and they're freshmen. They have size. They're 5'10" and 5'11". They're taller than JJ and Jordan, but they ain't seen nothing like them. The
Yeah.
buzzsaws that are
Yeah,
coming out of you know. I tell you what, they just haven't dealt with that. They're going to get chewed up. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Them girls are going to get.
yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Can't deny that.
And their next big score is a 6'1", I believe, is the high leading score. She's a senior. Let's look here. Gustin, Lauren Gustin. She's 6'1". I mean, she's averaging 15.6. I mean, and then the two guards, they're averaging 13.8 and 10.8. It's just rough.
I think the Gustin girl just broke the team rebound record.
Yeah.
So she's
Well, look at that, man. She's averaging,
Averaging
15.2 rebounds a game.
yeah.
She's a rebounding machine.
Tells me she just knows where to be and
Yeah.
puts that effort.
She's a
in.
Rodman.
Yeah.
Worm her way in there. Get that crap, man. 6'1". I mean, this far into she's been playing Big 12 opponents, and still getting that. So she's a good rebound. I mean, she's a baller too.
And some people just have an eye for it, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's effort. I mean, we've seen that in the men's game. We rebounded well for maybe the first time. And,
Yeah.
but it was a lot of that's effort. Go get it. Go get it.
Yeah. And then, I mean, like I said, out of this stretch right here, worst case scenario, I think record-wise, would be us going 2-1 on the stretch. Worst case
scenario, yes.
Worst case scenario is us 2-1. I think there's a good chance for us to go 3-0. I honestly do. I think
we'll all be upset if we don't. But to be realistic, there is a chance.
Yes. I bet that's worst case scenario.
Yeah.
It's just us losing one game out of the stretch. I don't think there's any way we lose two. I don't think there's any way, not a chance in hell. There's a slight chance we lose one. And if we go that, we are going to be 7. At worst case scenario, we're 7-3. Best case scenario, we're 8-2. 10 games into, that's
sitting at the top. That's right with everyone else still,
Yeah. I mean, we're 15-1. There's what? Or we're 15-2. There's 29 games, so there's 12 games left.
I believe your math.
Well, there's 29 games we're playing this year. I mean, yeah, I just don't see any way how we're not getting the NCAAs. How
Should we go ahead and buckaroos for Kansas City?
well, see, that's what I was wondering. Is it in Kansas City? Is it always in Kansas City?
Well, I think I've seen it. It's in Kansas City this year. I don't know.
I believe it is in Kansas City.
Yeah, it's over like
I wonder how the Big 12 tournament's going to go. It'll be interesting.
I've never been to Kansas City. I mean, I'm down to go.
I've been to bad city.
I'm down to go.
It's Flatlanders.
Yeah.
We'll see We'll see. Get a little closer. I did get email. Being season ticket holders, we can get tickets for it. So
right.
I guess maybe we got to start thinking about it.
That would be an interesting trip in March.
Yeah.
I'm vacationing in Kansas City.
I think there's a lot in Kansas City.
Where's your deal go, Springbank man?
Kansas City. No, when I was out there, I lived in Lawrence. Kansas KU is. And, Kansas City's not too far away from there. It's a cool city. But in the wintertime, I don't know. It's pretty cold.
March.
But either way, we're sitting indoors.
Coming out of it, maybe. Yeah.
Man, I lived in Wichita and Omaha, Nebraska, man. It's flat and it's not
flat, windy, cold.
Yeah. It's so flat. If your car's at the end of like a road, like there's nothing in front of it, and it snows, you will have a snow bank on your car, and it'll drift up over your car.
Yeah,
it's awful. But like I said, I think worst case scenario 2-1. We come out. Worst case scenario 10 games into the Big 12. We're 7-3 or 8-2, and I can't complain.
I like it.
Can't complain at all.
Pretty happy with the way the season's going. We didn't know what to expect this year, but loving it.
Yeah. Well, now it's going to bring us to
what I don't want to talk about.
Yes, exactly. Time for JJ's J's.
What I do want to talk about.
Yes, and I'm in the middle of it. But JJ's J's is a game we play where we try to guess JJ's point totals for the period of the podcast. For this one, there's going to be 3 games: the Iowa State, UCF, and BYU games. The person who guesses the closest for the total over the 3-game stretch will get 2 points. Second closest a point, and the person as far away will get 0 points. Person with the most points at the end of the regular season gets a night out treated on the 2 losers. Now coming up on this last week, JJ scored. She scored 30. 41 total. 41 total. So that makes Ryan the winner. So we got 3 games coming up. Let's guess the next week.
Well, we've changed the rules.
You're first. You're first. I like that. You did bad.
Yeah, we're going to do
that. All right. We need a piece of paper.
Usually we write on the coaster. Right. So
this is against Iowa State.
It's 120.
Woo!
20?
Yeah. 20. I am going 17.
I'm going to go in between. I'm going to go 19.
19? All right. Coming up, we have UCF.
Well, I mean, I'm going to have to I'm going to go 19.
Right. I'm going to go 22.
I'm going to go quick, effective 16.
16. He's going low ball. Now, the final game away, the one game on this stretch of away in Provo, Utah. Elevation over 4,700 feet. What do you think JJ's points total will be with the lack of oxygen.
I'm gonna just go straight up or average 18.
18.
So just while he's thinking about this, what we should, since we change the rules as we go, if somebody guesses 100%, what can we do?
You mean point for point or
Yeah,
just total?
They get the
Like
trifecta or something?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
What
We got to buy him a shot. The losers buy him a shot.
all right, okay, we'll do that. That's
All right, I went 20.
I'm going to go 23 on this one. I think it's
What
going to be a
team
cards game, and I
can
think
we-
she's going to take care of it.
23. All right. That gives Shane a total of 57 for the 3-game stretch. Right? 39 plus 18 would be 57. I went 59. And Ryan went 58. Boy. That's a close one.
58, 59.
That's a
I'm
close
going to have
one.
to hit it dead on to win that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Well, you're getting the point.
Yeah.
You are.
I guess that's true. I'll be the second closest either way.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how I'll start playing it. I'll just do the math as we talk.
Get the one in the middle.
No, that was all random. I like it. All
right. That's good. Can't get much closer than that. All right. Anybody want to add anything before we wrap up?
Let's bring up the radio show. Mark Kellogg's been doing the radio show at another bar, but I will say it's
Kegler's,
It's
damn it.
Kegler's.
Everyone knows
Nothing
Kegler's.
against Kegler. I like,
I love their mango habanero, man. That's good stuff.
we hang Fishbowl a lot, and obviously we're doing it here at Fishbowl, and we love what Fishbowl lets us do, and but it's still a good show. I listened to it last week. I didn't get a chance to go, but hopefully this week I can check it out. It's just another opportunity to get some exposure for the women's basketball program.
Yeah. Go down there. They got some good mango habanero sauce. Not as good as fishbowl. Sweet chili habanero, but they have it's very tasty mango. A little bit spicy, make a little bit of sweat on your brow. I'll tell you that.
Well, again, my thing is just come out and support. Come to the games,
for
check
sure.
it out, and just see what it's about. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
Interest is growing. The last crowd, home crowd, was the most we had this year.
Let's keep it going like that.
Keep it
Keep
going.
that trend.
man.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
We'll see you guys at the game. I guess that's going to wrap it up then for us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for Ryan and Shane, I'm Chad. Until next time, we'll see you at the Coliseum.